But there's all kinds of other things. Everyone has a vision for wealth. No matter how opulent your money situation is, everyone has a vision for wealth that's greater than what we're experiencing in this moment, okay? So we apply our code. Because divine love lives in my vision of wealth, I lean as close to it as I can. What does that mean? And it's not even the obvious things necessarily, like, well, it means that I invest more wisely or I save more money. I don't know what it means. Maybe it means you take a prosperity class and you open up your consciousness to understanding the law of reciprocity in the universe. It'll be different for everybody, this leaning into. Okay? Now, just like with health, it's very easy to list 5 ways our vision of wealth benefits us. Oh, well, I have more money. That's the best thing in the world, right? Okay. Yeah, start with that. I can buy a new car. I can go on a trip. All kinds of things. How does our vision of wealth for ourselves glorify God? Is God abundant? No, God is abundance. There's a difference. Always a noun, never an adjective. God is abundance, so when we live abundantly, we are glorifying God. And that money is just divine energy in this kind of form. And when we use it and circulate it, we're participating with God. So that glorifies the divine. How does our vision of wealth help other people? That one's pretty easy too. 5 things should be no problem at all. Is there anybody you'd like to help? If you had more money, that you would help them? Okay. Maybe it's about paying college tuition for children or grandchildren. Maybe it's about giving to charity, or my personal favorite, tithing to your church. Yeah. There are ways you haven't even thought of that your vision of wealth for yourself blesses others. Okay, and let's talk about relationships. Well, let's back up a minute. What if there were just one small way you could make a difference in someone's life by increasing your own wealth? Wouldn't that be worth everything? Okay. We don't all have to be Andrew Carnegie, for example, who started out his life in very meager situations. He was a bobbin boy. I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's not a very well-paying job. At the age of 13, he was a child when he went to work. And eventually he brought steel to Pennsylvania. And at the age of 65, he sold that company for $480 million. That was over 100 years ago. Do you know how much money that was back then? And what did he do with it? He gave away $350 million. $350 million to fund educational programs and establish the free library system in this country. And there are so many foundations in his name. It's a gift that keeps giving. But even if we are not called to play at that level, we are called to play at some level that blesses other people. Okay? And ultimately, we're in this world with other people, so relationships are important. Health is important, wealth is important, but what about our connections with other people? What is your vision for a relationship? Every one of us is in multiple relationships, whether we want to be or not. It's not just our spouse or significant other or our family. It's everyone we come in contact with. Okay? What is your vision for a relationship? Is it attracting a soulmate? Somebody to spend your life with? Somebody to grow old with? What if that person's already way older than you? Just saying. Maybe it's a better relationship with your children? Or having more friends? Wouldn't everyone love to have more friends? And you might say, well, I have more friends than I can even spend time with. But, you know, it's wonderful. Ellie's here. Our friend Ellie is visiting today. It's a wonderful day. So we apply the code. Because divine love lives inside my vision of relationships, I lean as close to it as I can. What does it mean to lean into? Maybe you just pick up the phone. My thing would be to pick up the phone and call my best friend Carol in New York. Or my best friend Judith in Atlanta. Or one of these girls who I don't know why they put up with me, my heart sisters, because I am really not good when I get busy. Okay, maybe it's just that. Or maybe it's doing the Emersonian, to have a friend be a friend. It'll be different for everybody, but there is something that is meaningful to you about leaning into your vision of relationship. And coming up with 5 ways that you benefit directly is very easy. Having more friends, it's obvious. You would maybe socialize more or have more joy in your life. Attracting your perfect soulmate. There's all kinds of benefits. How does that glorify God? Anytime 2 people come together in the spirit of love, and I don't care if it's in a romantic love way or in a friendship way or in a grandparent-grandchild way, when those 2 people are together in love, that glorifies God. That love energy expressing is the divine in action through us. Okay? And it should be pretty easy to come up with 5 ways that our vision of relationship blesses other people. I love it when one of my heart sisters calls me, which is usually the way it is. It makes my day. And I think, wow, I could do that for them. I could call them and just make their day, right? That's the way other people are blessed. The elementary school I attended in Italy was called Elisabetta Vendramini, and it was named after a woman who is now on the path to sainthood. She's been beatified, like Mother Teresa, so that's step 3 of 4 to becoming a saint. Canonization is the next. So some miracles have to be performed in her name. I guess it hasn't happened for Elisabetta yet, but she had a vision of relationship. When she was 27 years old, this is in the 1800s, she was engaged to a wonderful man to be married. And she got in touch with her vision for her life, and it did not include being married. So she broke off the engagement, and that was a shocker at the time. It broke the guy's heart. Her family was not happy with her. But what she wanted to do was work with the orphans in her neighborhood. So she spent time at that orphanage. And what came out of that is that she founded a 3rd order of St. Francis. And her entire life was devoted to helping orphans and feeding the hungry and helping the poor. And that work continues over 100 years later in her name. Okay? She had a vision for a relationship, and it was not typical for her day, but she followed her heart, and wonderful things happened as a result of that. That is true for us as well. What is your vision of relationship? How do you think it blesses other people? Okay. Getting in touch with this, allowing the divine, the infinite intelligence to have its way with us, to live its life as us, falling in love with our dream of allowing that to happen. That's the highest love. I really want you to think about this as we go into the next week or so where we're buying cards and candy and stuffed animals that nobody actually wants. I just want to tell you, nobody really wants those stuffed animals. Rather than doing that, do some contemplation on your life vision of love and share that with a friend. Instead of giving them a little bunny or something or a teddy bear, say, yeah, let's have a coffee and talk about this thing. Because that energy is contagious. It shows that we're in alignment with the truth of ourselves. And when we are living by the truth of our being, according to our essence, we're in harmony, aren't we? We're in harmony with everyone everywhere. We are in harmony with the eternal power of love that created us to not only have life, but have it abundantly. God wants us to have life and have it abundantly. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the infinite intelligence of the universe lives inside of you and you and you, all of you. I lean as close to the truth of you as I can, because when I live my dream and you live your dream, the most wonderful things happen. And together we are sharing in the highest love there is. This is the truth, and it's absolutely wonderful. And so are you. And so it is.